they should pray and remember most governors in prayers. Remember most governors and our leaders in prayers not to lose position in the court via legal processes through the interpretation of the law and constitutional rights by the court. Pray for more governors not to lose their position in the court through the interpretation of the constitutional rights by the court. Number 15.
A federal high court in Abuja has ordered the Ebonyi State Governor, Dave Umahi, and his deputy, Eric Igwe, to vacate their seats as the sitting governor and deputy governor, respectively. The judgment is based on grounds that the People's Democratic Party won the election on March 2019 and not its candidate. Justice Inyang says that having defected to the All Progressives Congress, Governor Umahi and his deputy cannot transfer the mandate of the PDP to the APC. Celestina Ira has this report.
Citing Section 221 of the Constitution, Justice Inyang about the People's Democratic Party to immediately send names of replacements for Governor of Ebonyi State and his deputy to INEC so as to conduct fresh elections. Justice Eko held having defected to the APC, Governor David Umani and his deputy Eric Igwe cannot transfer the mandate of the PDP to the APC. The court also ordered INEC to cease from recognizing David Umani and Eric Igwe as the governor and deputy governor of Ebonyi State. The court declared a defection unlawful, unconstitutional, null and void, and ordered them to immediately vacate their offices. In same vein, delivering judgment in a suit by the People's Democratic Party, the court ordered the Speaker of the House of Assembly and his co-defectors to immediately stop holding themselves as members of the Ebonyi State House of Assembly. The judge held that the votes that brought them to office belong to the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and that the legislators cannot hold on to the vote having elected to defect from the party that nominated them. Justice Eko also held that the votes cast for the PDP in the 2019 elections are not transferable to the APC that failed in the election. He restrained INEC from recognizing or according any recognition to them as elected members of the House of Assembly.
The Supreme Court has ruled and said there is no provision against the defection of the President, Vice President, Governor or Deputy Governor. So, is the court making a judgment different from that of the Supreme Court? It is obvious.
Ministry of Justice. I say so because the Federal High Court here did rely on the provisions in the Electoral Act that relate to pre-election and election matters. Even citing the case of Amechi shows that this is a clear case of an error in law. Like the council has said, we're going to challenge this in the Court of Appeal.
Justice Eko ordered that all monies collected from the top period of a defection to the judgment date must be recovered from them. Celestina Iria, TVC News, Abuja.
Meanwhile, Governor David Umahi says Justice Inyang lacks the power to remove him from office and has put the judiciary on trial. The People's Democratic Party had approached the court asking for his removal after he defected from the party to the All Progressives Congress in November 2020.
This particular case was instituted by the PDP here in Ebonyi State, in Abuja, and then we applied to the CJ of the Federal High Court, and he graciously transferred the case to Ebonyi State. Without a notification to us or our knowledge, they say that they had withdrawn the case, from Ebonyi. Who transferred the case back to the CJ of the Federal High Court? And why is it that the CJ of the Federal High Court has failed to transfer the case that they referred, back to Ebonyi State? The CJN was notified of substituting judgments in Zamfara and Ebonyi State, and it did nothing. Let me see how NJC is going to handle this, because even when judges gave judgment over matters they didn't have knowledge, they were summoned to Abuja. Let's see how an affidavit was sworn to let this Justice Eko know that there are judgments that are substituted in this matter. He still went ahead and gave judgment.